Hey everybody, Scott here, Disneyland Nurse. I am reporting from Galaxy's Edge. This is September 1st, 2025. We are here to check out the new merchandise. As you can see, we have stormtroopers here roaming the area in the Black Spire Outpost. Don't know what they could be up to, but let's go check out the new merchandise, see if we can spot anything that hasn't been seen before. Here we go.
Hello to all you moisture farmers and Trandoshans out there. Thank you for checking out my video, and a very special thanks to Disneyland Nurse for introducing this merchandise update at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Please make sure to go follow Disneyland Nurse on Instagram and also his page called Nurses Day at the Park, where he has organized the first ever Disneyland gathering of all nurses and medical professionals. I went last year, had a blast. So make sure to go follow him on the gram. Alright guys, let's just jump right into this video and go visit First Order Cargo. So not only will I be looking for new hidden merchandise throughout the park, but also it'll be really interesting to see what kind of old merchandise is going nowhere and has been there since opening day. As you can see, they still have like a screen accurate Kylo Ren outfit, but this helmet is so rad. Before this was available at Disney, this helmet was going on sale for Etsy for like $600 or $800 to run LED lights all throughout it. I own one of those, and it actually pulls apart in the middle. Great price, great collector's item, looks awesome on display. Looking around here, looking around. Now, just up above there, that's actually a First Order probe droid, and that item is one of the new merchandise items in Galaxy's Edge. We're going to take a closer look at that in just a little bit. I think Droid Depot might be more of a fitting place for that. But we've got Moff Gideon's helmet. They've been really doing more authentic helmets, whether it's Hasbro, but they actually make Disney licensed version helmets, especially of the Stormtrooper, which is different than the Hasbro Black Series. And I think it differs because Disney has this really neat design where there's a crack on, like in the middle, so the front and back of the helmet pull apart and can easily allow for your head to fit in while still maintaining like a screen accurate look. I think you can actually buy those Stormtrooper complete armor sets. I wonder if anyone's purchased one. If you happen to know, don't hesitate, leave a comment down below. And also, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate the support. It tells YouTube I make good content. Thanks a lot, guys. Ooh, that piece is so cool. I remember when it came out, everyone was going bonkers over it. I have it in the background of my filming studio here, the melted like sequel trilogy Darth Vader helmet. It looks really cool. It could be powdered weathered a little bit more, but the way it comes, it still looks pretty awesome. I do own that Vader and Stormtrooper sock combo, which is a fun way to spruce up any kind of business meeting or, you know, semi-formal dance at your high school. Those Vader those like Vader figures are also new. I don't know too much about them, but as soon as they start mixing up the style of all the different figures, I don't know, maybe call me OCD, but I like the styles of my figures to kind of match. This thing has been here since opening day. Imperial Comlink, you will see this sprinkled throughout all the Star Wars films, but it's actually a Bluetooth rechargeable speaker. I can't imagine it sounds too good, but for all of you like Imperial officers out there in the galaxy, you're probably going to want to pick one of those up. Everyone can be a Stormtrooper. Adults can be troopers. Kids can be troopers. They got trooper busts, trooper mugs, helmets, half helmets, artwork. If you are a trooper fan, this is the place to be. No questions asked. Let's keep going.
If you're stopped for questioning, your cooperation is expected.
All right, next, let's head on over to the Droid Depot, because everyone loves themselves a little bit of Droid. And this place is like full to the brim with every kind of merchandise you can imagine, from salad bowls to keychains. This place is full of treasures. Let's start over here to the left. Thanks, Scott. I love his camera. He always gets really good, everything's in focus. We got R2 hats, R2 fanny packs. Is that a shoulder bag? I can't tell. Sissy can look like R2. I love that they always have these available, the full-on miniature R2 unit droids. I wanted just the old school R2. And if you want your droid perfectly weathered to look in-universe or cartoony or a number of stuff, you've got to check out my buddy Tuner. You ship him your droid, he's totally legit, family man, great guy, and does beautiful artwork. He weathered my R2 and my C-3PO, which are like the same scale size, and really does excellent work. Make sure to check him out on Instagram as well. And thank you, Scott, for checking out. That actually is a new popcorn bucket ornament. Did you know these two were a thing? Let me know down in the comments. I didn't know that was a thing, that you can put ornaments on your popcorn buckets. And they also have a remote controlled, and of course all these droids are remote controlled in case you didn't know that. They also have a BB-8. DJ Rex, I believe, has a Bluetooth player. Oh, Chopper. If you guys haven't seen Star Wars Rebels, take the time, invest it. The characters are hilarious. I love that show. So glad I committed like 45 hours of my life to watching all the episodes. And there it is again, close up, the First Order probe droid, which isn't just a statue. I'll actually show you the listing here on the Shop Disney website. Here's the price. It lights up, there are sensors, and there are some small animatronic movements when an emotion trigger the emotion sensors. For $74.99, a small animatronic statue with sensors I think is probably an appropriate price. And then boom, we've got BB-8 everything. R2, we got sweatshirts. It looks like maybe ornaments down there as well. Again, full of stuff. Do you want a droid apron? I'm not embarrassed to say I own that R2-D2. It could be a salad bowl. It's my favorite popcorn bucket. I love having it for movies. It's the real deal. It's super chrome. It's beautiful. And my family and I love to watch movies, so we use it all the time. Hand wash, of course. Decorative dishes, sure, why not? Who doesn't want a droid wine stopper or a cork remover there? Shaped just like BB-8's head. There's something for everyone, because you got to pick up something for the family and friends when you go to the Disneyland park. Salt and pepper shaker, I think that probably could be one of the newer items. It looks like they might just slide off each other there, but cool droid style to that.
Droid building takes place. You no longer need to have a reservation here. You can just walk in and build your own droid whenever. So yeah, so let's take a look at some of the merchandise that they have.
And thank you, Scott, for that update. I will repeat that you no longer need reservations for building your own droid. It is a really fun experience and a much less expensive souvenir for your younglings if you can talk them out of a hand-built lightsaber from Savi's workshop. Tons of droid pins. You may want to pause the video, take a closer look, but there's so much merch we have to cover. We don't have time to flip the back of every one of them to check out the price. Sorry about that. By the way, if you want any of this stuff shipped directly to your door, I have two personal shoppers that I work with that I can vouch for, one from California, one from Florida. They are great guys, super reliable, and they only charge a very small commission fee. Boom, there's my C-3PO head. I always have his mask taken off, and I've been meaning to weather it. My buddy Gabe from Star Wars Replicas, I think he may have rebranded, but he made a really cool video on how to weather your own C-3PO mask to look like Anakin's hobby project from The Phantom Menace. Man, we've got tons of bottles, shirts, again, something for everybody here. Some of this merchandise is kind of repeating itself, but what is up here? Oh, DJ Rex. I wonder if he moves. I think, man, one of his arms move at all. Let me know if you know in the comments. And what have we got? A Celebration 70th R2-D2. My son has a couple different droids in his collection because I think that size is the same size for the Black Series 6-inch figures, which have always been my favorite because they're kind of larger, more details, and I think they're a little bit more durable than some of the smaller action figures. Plenty of C-3POs to go around. Poor Anthony Daniels. Although he always still has a line at the conventions for autographs, so don't feel too bad for him. And I did listen to his autobiography, really interesting perspective on the original trilogy films from his point of view and the struggles and injuries he went through while wearing the droid suit. Oh, adorable backpack down below if you want to carry your droid on your back. Not a bad idea for putting Johnny to some good use instead of just sucking down expensive soda pops, am I right? All right, it appears as though Scott has whisked us away over to the Jewels of Bith, which is the tiny little hole in the wall that sells keychains and coasters. Down below was a really neat Millennium Falcon, just kind of like a decorative desk ornament. There you can see that. That's been there since opening day. I've seen these hats around for quite a while. I think those Black Spire Outpost water bottles might be fairly new. Let's take a quick gander at the pins over here. I am a sucker for a good pin. Nothing that really catches my eye. Photo frame, classic for any family wanting to remember their time in Battuu. Porg keychain, heck yeah, sign me up. We got a, what is that, a Tauntaun. And those are really cool souvenirs. They're wooden Arabesh translators. So as you walk around the park, you can kind of take a look at some of the wording on the crates and decode as you go. Now the Space Worm ornament looks new, but I think down below there was like a Kylo and Rey ornament. That was there from last year. Pretty rad. Black Spire, what is that, a long sleeve sweatshirt it looks like? Looks kind of warm. I would sport that. I would hope it'd kind of go on the back. That's sort of a trend at the Disney parks, or like these kind of a jersey, Disneyland, really big across the upper back. Gives you like a broad shoulder kind of look. All right, where's he taking us now? The Outfitters, where you can dress as a Jedi, Rey, Sith. All these costumes have been here, and I'm glad that they're still here. I think everyone deserves a chance to buy an authentic Jedi or Sith tunic and robe from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. They don't do pantalones, though. Just a heads up. No, nothing below the waist I don't think they sell. Just the belts, though, that look pretty in-universe and very authentic. The Toydarian Toy Maker, sometimes you can catch some pretty unique pieces of treasure in here. My daughter actually has that stuffed Wicket. She loves him. She rotates all of her stuffies, so I think on the 13th every month he gets slept with. Tic-Tac-Toe versus Empire versus Rebellion. Okay, it could be a fun Christmas gift for your Star Wars fan that has everything in your family. Sabacc, if you have the discipline to actually read the instructions and find someone to play with you. And they've had this large collection of ships that kind of look like they were made in the Black Spire Outpost. That's what's really cool about them. They don't just mean to have a steampunk look, but they look like toys that kids would play with in, the village of Black Spire.
All right, we are going to head into Doc Ondar's now and see what is new here at this shop.
And everyone's favorite store filled with the most exciting Jedi weapons, Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities. And this is definitely the most popular store that always seems to have the limited merchandise right off the bat. I don't think I've seen that a cool Ahsoka Tano gray sweatshirt before, but they have had this version of Ahsoka Tano's outfit available to buy for quite a while. Looks like they are still selling mystery Sith Wayfinders, and I do have this really cool hollow chest set. All the pieces light up and they're like kind of have magnetic type sensors to them. It looks really cool on display. My son and I tried so hard to discipline ourselves to learn how to play, but the rules are a little crazy, but we almost made it. We almost played a full game of it one day, I think when the internet was off. Kyber crystal display pad there. I think you can buy like 6 of them and you plug them right into those pads and it makes your Kyber crystals light up. Mystery boxes. I think they did get some new designs of like helmets, but it's a mystery box where if you want a fun little trinket of your favorite animal's head or Kylo Ren's helmet or something, $15. Who doesn't love a fun surprise? Rancor Tooth Flight. I did pick one of these up, I think the first year or two Galaxy's Edge was out. I wish I could use it more, but I'm having trouble finding anything else other than hard liquor to put inside. Those are pretty cool. I believe they are Black Series, and they made a whole line of characters, and it looks like they are hollow pucks, where everyone has some kind of a bounty. I know that Han Solo has a cool one. So not quite an action figure. I don't think there's like opposable arms and stuff, but it makes for a very cool display. It appears they are still selling Ahsoka Tano's legacy lightsabers. Right there, lightsaber creature pommels. You can see Ahsoka's owl and the Wampa. They screw onto the pommel of your Savi's Workshop lightsabers and give it a totally cool, different look with a bit of an animal flair to your saber that you may have just built there on planet. They've been doing a lot more art lately. Crazy kind of 80s Mandalorian, and they're selling screen accurate helmets. The Armorer, I think is how you pronounce it. Super nice lady. The Miss Swallow, I believe. Moff Gideon. I rewatched The Mandalorian. So much fun. Epic Star Wars Western. And they are still selling a lot of the Star Wars currency, including like Republic credits, calamari flan, and there's a whole bunch. And you can take all their credits and shove them into your Camp Tono. We'll see here maybe if they're still carrying those, but they were the last time I was there. Sweet! They got the Rex helmet, Vader. By the way, guys, I know Vader's helmet, the eyes, were red in the Kenobi series, but I don't believe they were red in the original trilogy at all. I even went back and looked at screenshots. If I'm wrong, and you have some info to share, some wisdom, leave a comment down below. I'd appreciate that. I mean, look at all the treasures here, guys. Over to the left is like that shiny chrome helmet of Ren. Nobody saw that coming because no one knew who the Ren was, who was the leader of the Knights of Ren, before Kylo showed up and gave him the business. That Darth Maul statue does look pretty cool, except I think over time, those blades might start to look a little bit flaccid, but maybe nothing that like a hot hairdryer couldn't fix. All right, and everyone's favorite part, the lightsabers. We have Ahsoka's Rebels, Ahsoka's Clone Wars sabers in stock. Everything you see here in the case, I know they have in stock. Stellan Geos, that is Gungi, the wooden saber. There's no other saber in the collection that has that kind of wood texture to it. Still selling dark sabers, those haven't gone completely out of style. Looks like they have some Rens, Souls, and I think that was just a flash of the Kanan Jarrus lightsaber. Luke Skywalker, classic Vader. Love the bubble strip and the wires, my favorite design, bar none. $160, still a reasonable price, you guys. I know, like, they don't have the highest end, most advanced technology, but you can't beat the price. And I'm telling you, and to put your blade in, snap, snap, takes like half a second. So there still are several advantages to collecting the Legacy Lightsaber series. Here's an up-close look at the mystery boxes. Let me know down below. I'm not certain if these are newer designs. And just below here, I have a surprise for you guys. Bam! Just a little glimpse there. That is the lowest price for a Legacy lightsaber I've ever seen. That Ezra Bridger is $99.99. I've never seen a Legacy lightsaber for less than, what, $130 or something like that. Looks like they still have the Ki-Adi-Mundi box set. No surprise there. Not exactly like a super popular character. Wait a minute. Wait a gosh darn minute. Is that a new Yoda statue of some kind? Looking glorious. Oh yeah, $54.99. Let's go ahead and pause the video. This is the listing on the Shop Disney website, 10 inches tall, and I read the description. It sounds like he is a bit of a fortune teller type Yoda. He says over 50 phrases. If you hit his hand once, he speaks, and then if you hold it down, you can ask him a question, and he'll answer you maybe like an 8-ball with a yes, no, maybe so. And that is definitely a new addition to the merch available in Galaxy's Edge. I think he definitely looks better in camera in person than he does kind of washed out with too much light on Shop Disney. These helmets, by the way, very cool. However, these are not the same ones that the Black Series Hasbro sells. Those actually are like electronic, and there's 2 different settings to them. A little hard to come by, but if you can find one, they are super fun. What else have we got? Okay, bracelets. I think these are new. I don't believe I've seen these before. If they are in the films, let me know down in the comments. Here's some pricing for you. Thank you, Scott. They must be made with some rare metals. I did make a video, and I reviewed this lightsaber training set with a training remote. Very cool collectible. Looks great on display because otherwise there's no other product like it on the market. And we know that these Rey outfits have been here forever. Those are really nice wrist straps. They're very tough elastic. You can put on your forearms and wrap up your arms. Much better than doing like the Ace bandage wrap yourself. And that is a box with, I think, the complete full set of all the Kyber crystals with the different character voices in that box right there. I know that came out maybe a year or 2 ago. Pretty nice fancy box set. And I think they always are pretty fully stocked in holocrons. Very unique item that they sell in Galaxy's Edge. So guys, thank you so much for following me and Scott along, checking out the new and the old merchandise in Galaxy's Edge. Scott, why don't you say goodbye to these nice folks?
Thank you for joining me on the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge merchandise store. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you want to follow me along, find me on Instagram at Disneyland Nurse.